Bloomberg Audio Studios.
Podcasts, radio, news.
Just this past week, Fortescue, the world's fourth biggest iron ore miner, saying it will pay $2.8 billion to replace two-thirds of its fleet of haulage trucks and equipment in Western Australia with EV versions as it seeks to cut diesel consumption and meet ambitious emissions reduction targets. There's a lot going on.
Yeah, there sure is. And look, we've got lots to talk to Andrew Forrest about. Who joins us in studio, Executive Chairman and billionaire of Perth, Australia, based Fortescue, in town this week during the UN General Assembly and Climate Week as well. Welcome to Bloomberg Business Week.
How are you?
I'm on fire, thank you. I'm just in an exciting place right now.
It certainly is. And look, at a time that we're going to talk about your climate transition plan in a moment, because that's a really interesting conversation. We spent all week talking about China and the stimulus efforts being made there. And this is a story that's very central to your business as well. Imported iron ore used in roughly 80% of Chinese steel production. Talk to us about the picture that you're seeing of the Chinese economy from your side of the business and the demand. How bad is it?
Oh, how good it is. I mean, basically, you've had mining companies being fat, dumb and happy for a very long time because the iron ore price has been so good, so we're all heroes. But now, oh my God, the iron ore price has fallen, which means it's a lot better value, by the way, for the customer. And we have to work a lot harder as miners. We have to work harder to actually make a margin. And that's a good thing. And when people think that 1/3, they think, well, how do I lower my margins? Well, 1/3 of my cost is diesel fuel. 1/3, right? 1/3.
Right.
Imagine if we could get rid of that. Oh, by the way, we'd also be going zero emissions if we did that. So we've been working on this for years and years and years. And to give you an idea of how strong that demand is, because people are looking hard at their operating costs now, we took years and years to get up a 360 truck order. Now, these are big trucks, right? You've got the hubcaps starting at the roof here. And yesterday we signed another 100 and got walk-ins for another 400 in a day. So from 3 or 4 years for 360, for a day for another 500. So this is showing you that the mining industry is saying, hey, we've got to really look at operating costs. And Fortescue admittedly is driven because it wanted to go zero emissions because we bloody well have to as a human race. But then we also have to prove that it's highly commercial. And what you're seeing happen yesterday and today is that going zero emissions is highly commercial.
To say you're not worried about China?
No, I'm not. I mean, I've just come from China, man. I get accused when I'm in Chinese, when I'm in China being very pro-North American. When I'm in North America, I get accused of being very pro-China. So
no, but this is interesting because look, all of the narrative is
and love you both.
The narrative is so negative and has been for so long.
Are we wrong?
The slump in the property
Yeah,
sector.
I'm afraid you're wrong. You are wrong. I mean. Here in North America, you have a completely different system. You get lag effects and lowering interest rates and things like that, and it's macroeconomic policy, and it works really well over a long time. If they want to hit the accelerator, hit the brakes, you see the impact straight away. So they did a little bit of priming, not much. I got to say, as a percentage of GDP, it'd be hard to measure it, but that is kicked investment straight away. It's kicked the iron ore price. It's kicked iron ore demand.
So 5% growth, not a concern. It's going to happen.
Look, I'm completely not worried about it. And by the way, if it's 4 or 6, I know big countries who'd love to get 2 or 3. So, for our demand, I'm seeing the iron ore price come down, and I'm saying good.
So Andrew, basically what you're saying is China's like, okay, if there still isn't enough, we're going to do more.
Yeah, and also, I love North America because we're aligned with North America. I love China because they're actually leading the world on going green. I mean, they are way ahead of their own plan. And, North America and China kicking the hell out of each other is really bad for the overall human race. This geostrategic war between North America, precipitated, I want to put it bluntly, by North America. And look, China does all these things wrong too, and you can jump on their toes, but you jump on their toes in private. You don't do it by shouting at them from New York or Washington, D.C.
Well, does that then worry you about who's in the White House come November? Because there is people who have a softer touch and people who don't.
Fortescue has a policy that we deal with any elected leadership that you suckers want to put up, right? So, if you want to put up Trump, I've got to say this Ukraine badge, if there's a deal cut which rewards an invader for invading a country, which you've had as an enemy for 80 years, and you go cut a deal and reward a bad guy for being bad, we're down in the Pacific and we're going to say, hold the phone. If you're going to trade Ukraine against Russia, where do we sit with North America? I mean, where do we sit? I mean, who do we now call a friend if you're going to turn around and do that to Europe?
Right.
I mean, you're obviously very plugged into geopolitical tensions because it's part of what affects your business as well. When you're thinking about global climate solutions, and you gave us some of the outlines of your plan there as well, there's some people that are going to think it's highly ironic that a mining company would be looking at a green transition.
I agree with them.
What green iron ore, what is that? Do these things really make a difference when it comes to the bottom line of limiting climate change?
Yeah, let's start with 3 million tonnes of carbon dioxide not going out into the atmosphere. I mean, let's just start there. And then let's realise that no one's ever going to make green iron or green steel, which is 10% of the carbon budget. Now we're talking huge, unless you start with green iron ore. So the fact we're going to green iron ore within a few years means that we can then go to green iron or green steel. Now that's starting to have a massive impact, because if we do that economically, then the pollution, which is currently suffered all over the world, particularly in China, where they put their steel mills on the outskirts of their cities, central planned, but their cities grew so much bigger, so now the steel mills are inside the city. We send them totally pollution-free metal. Their pollution problem goes out the window. So there is a really big impact on this slow, lethargic, backward industry called mining, ironically leading the world to go green. And it's hitting where the pollution is worst. And it's not saying, oh, well, we've got to continue burning oil and gas because there's such lovely people and we have to look after them. We're saying, actually, oil and gas has got us into this manure. We've got to stop doing what we've always done if we want a different result, and switch off the oil and gas, and then we'll get a different result. And that's like green steel. That's like green shipping. Now,
what exactly, though, is green iron ore? And what does it cost versus other iron ore? And is it cost competitive?
Yeah, no, it's going to cost less, ma'am. It's going to,
How
because
quickly?
we can make it for less.
Is it already?
Because we're not chopping through a billion litres of diesel here, like nearly 500 million gallons of diesel. We're not going to buy anymore, because we're making it ourselves. So,
is it cost competitive already?
Yeah, hell yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But that's the beauty of it, which is why I'm saying, listen, stop looking at going green. Stop looking at zero emissions as, oh, you're a really nice guy. What a lovely chief executive. What a lovely politician, thinking of the kids, not himself. Actually, get out of your hole. This is a great investment. You should be doing this for your shareholders. And if you say you can't go green, well, you're right. Get off the stage and let on someone smarter who can.
But why isn't everyone doing it if the case is that simple?
And done it sooner.
Because
done it yesterday
everything starts somewhere, right?
Okay.
Everything starts somewhere. I mean, the suit you're wearing started with a thread, mate. It turned out to be a suit, so wear the thread.
Yeah. Talk to me about the conversations you're having here in New York as well. Are people getting the message?
People are getting the message. Yeah, I mean,
we look at the pullback on green agenda in so many parts of the world at the moment. We see it reflected in polling and in election results. Is that playing?
Yeah, that's an opportunity for us.
Okay,
that's a serious opportunity. I mean, we are pushing ahead, going green as quickly as possible. We've got technology which can take the water in here, so to steal your water bottle, turn it into the most powerful fuel the world's ever had, which is hydrogen. When we turn it from gas or liquid to really serious energy,
except you need
it goes back to water, right? Yeah. And we're working out how to produce that. It's not pure. We call it industrial hydrogen, but a fraction of the cost. Where we've worked out already how to charge cars not in 22 hours or even 8 hours, but in 22 seconds. Okay, and these are the fastest electric cars in the world, like Formula E winners all the time. We've worked out how to charge our huge trucks in 24 minutes. And I've had your US generals say to me, hey, look, you understand the US military can never go green. I said, why is that, mate? And they said, well, our tanks, they're 50, 60 tons, and they've got to go 50 mile an hour. And I said, well, hang on, mate, our trucks are 400 tons, and they've got to go 60 mile an hour. They're green. And they've said, well, shipping, yeah, our warships are like 100 metres long, Andrew. I said, honestly, mate, we could put 3 of your warships on the back of our iron ore carriers. They're 330 metres long, and we're sending them green. So everyone can go green.
I am curious if you guys are going to be also building wind farms, solar farms right next to some of your mines to help supply green power. Like, is that part of the process?
Yeah, it is. It is absolutely, and we'll supply power to us and power to others. Right now, we're operating a green grid. It's the first fully independent green grid in the world. It will be the largest, of course, because it'll be producing enough power the size of small countries, and it'll be a full grid, but it'll be off the standard grid, and that means that we can put this all over the world.
I want to come back to hydrogen because it's been talked about for many years. There's been a lot of money put behind it, yet to yield results. Where are the obstacles there? How far away is it from being something that's going to be widespread available and more heavily used as an energy form?
Okay, the only thing stopping the production of green hydrogen in North America, I mean, let's just remember that there's more people employed in the renewable energy sector in the fossil fuel old state of Texas than there are now is by fossil fuel.
Yeah.
So everything is changing. What we're seeing now is the whole growth, this massive growth of green hydrogen, green energy being held up by perfect getting in the road of the good in the IRA. And if we don't fix what a little thing called 45V, which is where the fossil fuel sector's got these environmental independent lobbyists to say, hey, look, we should have things like hourly matching. Well, okay, that's
So
perfect.
Parts of your own industry are working against this.
Yeah, I mean, but it's not my industry. It's the environmental lobbyists paid by fossil fuel. It's the same draw card, same playbook as tobacco use. They get so-called scientists in to say tobacco doesn't kill you, mate.
So it's money again, it's politics and it's lobbying.
Yeah, and we have to, Carol, we have to look straight through that and say to your legislators, and your legislators have got to say, actually, we're not going to let perfect kill off the good. We know green hydrogen is the answer. We will have weekly matching or monthly matching, but hourly matching just means the person who came up with that's never driven or operated anything more complex than a bloody computer, not these 1, 2, 3 mile long plants, which I have to operate.
So 30 seconds left. Are you more optimistic after your time here in New York and talking with global leaders, North American leaders, U.S. leaders, or are you more pessimistic, just quickly?
No, I'm more optimistic.
About the shift.
Because they trust what someone does more than what someone says, and they can see we're doing it. They can see Australia's highest shareholder return company ever is going fully green, and there's got to be a reason for that, and they're making huge sales and they're profitable.
So we wanted to be smart and fun when you came in. Did we do it?
Yeah, you're smart and fun here. I love Bloomberg.
Such pressure. Andrew Forrest, thank you so much. Executive Chair, of course, of Fortescue, joining us right here on Bloomberg Business Week.